What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one. As I welcome all y'all in to today's show. It is Tuesday. I hope all of you are having a fantastic start to your week. Man, we got a lot to go over today. Quite a bit. So, yeah, how's everyone doing out in the chat already? See all y'all, over 100 of y'all in the chat. Thank y'all for coming out. Shout out to everyone who's in the chat right now. Let's do, it's been a while. Let's do a shout out. Pro Special, SoFlo Soul, Sir Lancelot. It's funny, I used to know a DJ up here in Canada named Sir Lancelot. Denisha, John Featherland, Aladino Mass, Stetson, Jeff Fremont, Jimmy Bones, Duke Tomlinson, Robert Thomason, James LaSalle, Pabs the Dreamer, Brian Fawcett, New Attitude. How are y'all doing tonight, man? How is everyone in the chat? Uncle Luke. Attaboy. Uncle Luke. Gang. Paulie King 305, J Bands 561, Travalis Tinker. Shout out from the Bahamas. Man, I said it before, I'll say it again. Atlantis was one of my favorite places in the world I've ever been. Shout out to Reese's Pieces. He knows what the deal is. He said smash the like button, baby. PL, what's good, homie? It's a homie right there. Kessler, how you doing, Brandon Little? How's everyone doing? Jensen Beach, Florida. How is everyone doing tonight? A little chilly in the 516. I don't want to hear about it, okay? I got snow on the ground upstairs. My daughters wore boots today to school, all right? Snow boots. All right, Burnt Grass, what's going on? How you doing, man? Charles Hilton, how you doing? Listen, I ain't trying to hear about it's kind of chilly where you're at, all right? We out here minus 12 with the wind chill Celsius, and I got snow on the ground. And it was snowing, too. I ain't trying to hear it. Pro Special says 80-plus degrees down here in Paraguay, baby. Yeah, well, enjoy it, all right? Take an extra 10 minutes in the sun for your boy, all right? Because I'm going to tell you this. I ain't built for this snow. I am not, all right? You see all this Caucasianness? When I give me 2 weeks in Florida, and I'm olive, baby. I tan like a Greek god. It's unbelievable. Burnt Grass says, got the lake effect snow coming down here just down the highway away from you, Reason. Yeah, it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. Aladino says you used to it. No, I ain't. I've been here for long enough. It ain't. Listen, I'm trying to be olive. I ain't trying to be like snow Caucasian up here, all right? Let me be honest with you here. So Jaggernaut says it's 59. And that's freezing in Texas right now. Stop right now. All right? Stop right now. All right? It's minus 12 with the windshield right now. So in Fahrenheit, it's about 10 and a half degrees up where I'm at Fahrenheit. Rommel just cranking it in 67 in the Bay Area. Sure, enjoy. All right? Enjoy. I'm out here huddling up, and it ain't good. Us Canadians call it a toque. You Americans might know it as a beanie. I wore my Dolphins toque or beanie today, whichever way you want to. Shout out to Beanie Siegel. Whichever way you want to pronounce that. I had to bust it out today for the first time. So, Burnt Grass says white sand beach season in Canada, basically. Jeff Premont says 12 inches of snow here yesterday. There you go. There you go. That's, man, I'll tell you. Listen, it was cool when you were a kid. It runs its course when you have a car, you have a family, you have a house, and you're the one that also has to shovel it. I mean, shout out to the wife for having nothing but girls, and so I got no one to pass on the infamous snow shovel to and hand down the chore to, because I ain't sending my girls out to do that no matter what their age is. I ain't sending them out to do that. So Siegel, Desert Eagle, baby, Rude Awakening knows what time it is. One of my favorite rappers of all time, Beanie Siegel, man. Prime Beanie Siegel. I'm gonna tell you, all you hip-hop fans, if you want a sleeper track you've probably never heard of, all right? There's a track off, you're never going to believe what I'm about to say, but you need to hear it. There's a track called Journey Through the Life with Nas, Beanie Siegel, Lil Kim's on the hook, and it's off Puff Daddy's second album, Forever. So Nas and Beanie just absolutely do their thing on that track. That song is old, but man, as someone who thinks Nas is not only my favorite but the best to ever do it, and then I got a top 10 best ever list, but then I got a top 10 favorite list because like Cameron is in my top 10 favorite list, but he's not in my top 10 best of all time list because I can be objective, So, but Beanie, he's there, man. I love Beanie. Prime Beanie was that dude. I'm telling you. Anyways, enough hip hop. We're here for the Dolphins stuff. The Truth album, man. Stop getting me talking about Beanie because I love the Truth album was amazing. So I've got a couple things. First of all, Patreons, either tonight or tomorrow, expect the giveaway video. It's gonna be like a 5-10 minute video giving away your Tyreek Hill Vibes shirt. All right. Now, for the channel and the channel members, I'm gonna do both those giveaways in one show. So I'm probably gonna do that next week. All right, so I'm just giving people more time. Remember, the info to enter the contest for the giveaway for the Tua shirt, that's down below. Just go to episode 901, I believe it was. Tell me who your midseason MVP was. Like and comment and be publicly subscribed, and you will be entered. If you are a channel member, you are automatically entered into the draw for the Waddle. So you don't the shirt. So you got to do anything. All right. Now, some things I want to talk about here. We're gonna get into one of the main topics you saw here on the thing, but I want to, before we get into that, there's a couple things I want to talk about here. So, number one, listen, you got to give props to Raheem Mostert right now. Raheem Mostert has 13 touchdowns, and he's just 3 rushing touchdowns away from tying Ricky Williams' Dolphin record of 16. All right? Like, Raheem Mostert, he's going to break that record. Unless he gets hurt, he's breaking that record. Remember, that was in 2002. That record stood for 21 years. Want to hear something even crazier? His 15 total touchdowns, because he has 3 rushing, 2 receiving. He's only 3 shy of Mark Clayton's team record of 18. He's probably going to break that too. Raheem Mostert could break the single-season rushing touchdown record in Miami this year, as well as the single-season total touchdown record. It looks like it's going to happen. He's 3 away from tying Clayton, 4 away from beating him, and he's 3 away from tying Ricky and 4 away from beating him. And McDaniel's going to feed that. And let's be honest, maybe we start seeing the run featured a bit more because of this, eh? Hey, listen, I don't want to call him McDaniel, I think, because everyone knows I wanted McDaniel a year before we even brought him in as a head coach, as an OC. No one was out ahead of McDaniel in this community more than I was. Hell, my Patrons even knew the weekend he was going to be signed, as I had the info heading into that weekend that the deal was going to be done. So no one's been a bigger supporter and out in front of McDaniel ahead of the way. But he's a little bit of a record chaser, huh? You feel that a little bit with Tyreek, right? When Tyreek, we've heard Tyreek say one of the first things McDaniel ever said to him is, I'm going to get you that 2,000-yard record. He's a little bit of a record, accolade chaser a little bit, huh? And so that's why I think there's a good chance Raheem breaks both. Really, there is. So I thought that was an interesting nugget. Pass that along to you. Listen, you want some more ammo for the Bills? Check this out. The Bills are 1-2 this year against teams with winning records. Miami's 1-2 against teams with winning records right now as it stands. Buffalo, they are 5-4 against non-winning teams. So teams below 500 with a non-winning record. Buffalo's 5-4. Miami, we're 7-1. Just saying. And that one is now Buffalo. Remember, we were perfect. Right? If you're 500 or below, you're technically not a winning team. Now, Buffalo is that one. We were perfect, but now Buffalo is that one because the wheels are coming off in Buffalo. They're even hurting our record. But we're better against the non-winning teams, and right now both teams have the same record against winning teams. So, before Buffalo fans talk that smack to you, you got that you can say to them. And before we, this is going to be my segue into one of the main topics here. If you remember, I picked us to be 14-3 heading into this season, and I picked us to win this division. Now, we're going to win the division. 14-3, I don't know about. We already have 3 losses. But one of the losses I had on that schedule was the Washington Commanders. We've had it broached in the comment section throughout the season. We've had it brought up. I'm sure it's been brought up on other platforms, et cetera, et cetera. People have thrown their hats in the ring looking at trap games and, could this be a trap game? This is the game I think that could be the trap game. This is the game that has me worried a little bit here. Now, do I think we're going to win? Yeah, I think we're going to win this game. But this is the game where I wouldn't be taking the other team lightly. And And there's reasons why. And let's get into the biggest reason why. And that's one of the main topics of this show. Sam Howell versus Tua Tagovailoa this weekend. I think people are, let's be real here. Okay? This is, to me, a duel that too many people, this is a quarterback duel that too many people are sleeping on for me. Way too many people are sleeping on this quarterback duel. Let's start putting things into perspective for a second here. Let's really start putting things into perspective for a second because, this isn't just reason. Everyone knows Sam Howell was my favorite quarterback in that draft last year. Everyone knows I'm a Sam Howell guy. This isn't just me saying that. But right now, you've got the number 1 and the number 4 quarterback in terms of pass yardage. Sam Howell has 3,339 yards right now. Tua Tagovailoa has 3,117. Now, Sam Howell has a game in hand on him, as does Josh Allen, who's a little 37 yards ahead of Tua. He has a game in hand on Tua. CJ Stroud, he also, I believe, has a game. No, he's had his bye week. CJ Stroud's had his bye week, and he's about 89 yards ahead of Tua right now, I think. Anyways, my whole point is Sam Howell also, so 2 of these 4 ahead of Tua, they have games in hand on Tua, Josh Allen and Sam Howell. But you got the number 1 and number 4 guy here. All right? In terms of passing yardage. The other thing is, too, right now you have as well Tua Tagovailoa is number 3 in total passing touchdowns. And Sam Howell, right now, he's like 7th. Oh, yeah. So, you got the 3 and 7th in passing touchdowns. You've got the 1 and 4 in passing yards. Now, we talk about, passer rating here. It's a little bit different. You start getting into, how many snaps people have taken. But Tua Tagovailoa right now has a 103.7 passer rating. Sam Howell has an 87.3, so it's not quite where you'd want to be. But Sam Howell, he can make you pay if your offense turns the football over. Sam Howell, he's got weapons. He's got Terry McLaurin. He's got Jahan Dotson. He's got Logan Thomas. He's got Antonio Gibson. He's got Brian Robinson Jr., who I think's been a little overrated since the incident that happened to him last offseason as a rookie. Sam Howell's no slouch right now, man. Guys, this is Sam Howell's second year. I see people out here trying to spin a narrative that Sam Howell, I don't know what people are talking about. People trying to spin a narrative that Sam Howell right now is, isn't, is any less than good. You're talking about an incompetent team around him right now. Right now, Sam Howell has been sacked the most times in the NFL. He's been sacked 50 more times than Bryce Young, and he's still putting up those numbers. No fear. He's been sacked 55 times. Bryce Young's been sacked 40 times. And Sam Howell's still sitting in there, still delivering 3,300 yards, 18 touchdowns. Now he will throw the interception. He's got 13 picks, so he's throwing picks. But this might be a fun little quarterback duel. This just might be that. He's also almost thrown the ball 500 times, 486 times. Tua's throwing 377. Sam can make you pay, man. He's got weapons. And here's the thing. It's really not like, he's had the Bills he threw 4 interceptions against. But, look at the Broncos now, right? He threw for 299. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions against the Broncos. Threw for, 3 touchdowns, no picks against the Falcons. Look what he did to the Eagles in week 8, ladies and gentlemen. 39 of 52, 397, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception against the Eagles. Seahawks, 29 of 44, 312, and 3 touchdowns. The guy's no slouch. The guy can make it happen. Look against the Bears. Threw for 388 against the Bears. He's putting up gaudy numbers. And this team around him, it's the team around him that sucks. And I wouldn't get comfortable. This is the best quarterback we've faced since Mahomes. And, I mean, right now, Sam Howell's pushing the ball at a higher rate than Mahomes. Listen, do I think we should win and we will win? Yes. But do not sleep on this matchup. This is a very, very good quarterback matchup we're about to be in store for right now. I truly believe that. I mean, if you look at right now that Dolphins defense and the quarterbacks they've faced this season so far, right? Sam Howell's one of the best they faced so far. And the numbers back it. I mean, Howell's throwing the ball better than Herbert right now. Certainly throwing it better than Mac Jones. Russell Wilson's playing good ball. I mean, I think Josh Allen's better than Sam Howell, obviously. Right? Hurts ain't throwing the ball as well as he is right now. I mean, now if you talk about a total package, then let's have the conversation with Hurts. But talking about throwing the football right now. I think, you're talking about a guy where he's in the top 4 quarterbacks we faced this season so far. You put, Mahomes is better, Allen is better, and he's playing better than I think Russell's playing. It's just those interceptions also come because he's having to push the ball because they're behind as well. So, I mean, again, look what he did that Eagles game. So, and this is his first year as a starter. This is Sam Howell's first year as a starter. So, I think this is going to be a very, very good matchup. Sam Howell versus Tua Tagovailoa. And we're in Washington. It's not like, they're coming to the Rock and we're like, all right, we're just going to blow these clowns out. Now, let's be real here. Are the Washington, are the Washington Commanders, a super... They're better on the road than they are at home. They're 1-4 at home. So it's not like, it's super, super imposing heading into their building. Not like how it is the Rock, clearly, right? Clearly it ain't like, and, I don't know. I don't know, man. Listen, this team, I think is, I think they're better than, I think they're better right now than what they've kind of, remember this team started out, they started out 2-0, right? When they beat Arizona and Denver. And then they kind of hit a rough patch there facing the Bills and the Eagles. And really, they got blown up by the Bills, but they barely lost to the Eagles. So I picked them to actually be better in the NFC East than they've been performing. But, they've gotten rid of Montez Sweat. But, I'm really thinking that don't sleep on this matchup. If we turn the ball, listen, we haven't had a clean game with no turnovers since Denver. I believe since Denver, we've had about 16 turnovers. How many of these turnovers, including the Jets, have been when we're giving the other team good field position? This is a team that can actually make you pay. This isn't the Raiders or the Jets. This team can actually make you pay when you give them the ball on their side of the field. So it's going to be even more paramount that you protect the football. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But if we turn the ball over like we've been turning the ball over, this game's going to be closer than what people are thinking. Because this team is better than the Jets. This team is better than the Raiders. They will put points on the board off those turnovers. So you better be on your P's and Q's. And no, not most of the turnovers have not been on Tua. There's been Connor Williams, Mostert. Darrington Evans last game, that was on him. Tua's done his part. And really, it's the fumbles. The interceptions I can live with because he's a gunslinger right now in this offense. But, man, you got to have a clean game. You just got to have a clean game. You just got to have a clean game. No, Reason was out ahead of this defense more than everyone. While guys were making videos questioning Fangio and his defense and his ability, while people were in my chat saying, fire Fangio, this defense sucks, I was the one telling everyone to wait till week 8. What I'm telling you right now is our offense puts our defense in bad positions and in vulnerable positions. They've been able to get away with that because of look at the competition we've been put in vulnerable positions against. Tim Boyle, Aiden O'Connell. So, let's not sit here and start lying to ourselves. And in their house, giving them points, we're going to defer. If we win, we're going to defer. So if they score points on that opening drive, and lately we've been slow in the first half. We've been super slow in the first half. So, and yeah, their edges aren't great, but guess what? We still have Liam Eichenberg and Lester Cotton in the middle. They got Terron Payne. They got Josh Allen. Don't think they don't have depth in that interior. They can collapse a pocket real quick. Sorry, I meant Jonathan Allen, by the way. But they got Terron Payne. They got Jonathan Allen that can collapse that middle real quick. So, listen. Teams play different with leads. All I'm going to say is do not hand the ball to this team and give them multiple opportunities. So, we will see. Amber says, Tua is going 24 of 31 with 4 tutties, no turnover game, 31-17. Fins up. You heard it here first. You're welcome. X and Ramsey each getting a pick. Yeah, hey. I'd love to see an Xavier and Howard pick. When was the last time we had an Xavier and Howard pick? Been a while, huh? Just saying. It'd be nice to see a pick from him. That would be cool. He hasn't had one since September 17th against New England. So he hasn't had one since week 2. So hey, I'll take an X pick. I don't think the picks would start coming until if we get ahead of them and they start throwing the ball. So hey, we'll find out. We'll see. But this is going to be a interesting quarterback battle between the number 1 in yards and number 4 in yards. So let's see what's gonna happen here. And I mean, everyone's out here acting like that game against Philly didn't happen. And that's a damn good defense. He was 39 to 52 for 397 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and he was averaging 7.6 yards per completion. He had 114 passer rating. And his second highest QBR of the season. So let's not and don't sit here and like let's not act like he can't get it done. All right, let's not act like it. So I can't buy into that. But let's go from there to this, guys. Here it is. You people want my thoughts? I'll give my thoughts. So here it is. It's official. The Miami Dolphins have signed Jason Pierre-Paul and placed Jalen Phillips on injured reserves. What's my thoughts on this? My thoughts are, hey, listen. Now we're trying to call. First of all, now y'all trying to downplay Philly's defense. Yo, listen. All right, say what you want. Okay, right now, the Commanders have the 9th best passing offense in the NFL. That's a fact. So I don't know what you guys want to keep lying. That's a top 10 passing attack ranked in the NFL. So, anyways, Jason Pierre-Paul. For me, it's okay. Is it Derek Barnett? Obviously not. But I like that he can get into the rotation. I like that we can, you can put him in that rotation with Ogba and AVG. I've already told all you, I think Ogba gets an uptick in snaps, and he's going to get a chance to really make an impact. And I believe in Ogba, and I have faith in Ogba. Like, he's only played 20% of the defensive snaps, and he has like 3.5 sacks. So Ogba will get an uptick. I think it's a good little rotation depth piece addition. I wouldn't be sitting here. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wouldn't be sitting here saying to myself, oh, well, I hope he's going to come in here and he's going to give me the production that, he gave, last year with the Ravens, he played in 14 games. He had 3 sacks. I mean, this is not even the 9.5 sack guy from 2020 anymore that played for Tampa. That production is gone. He's been in the league since 2010. I expect him to get involved in the rotation, and be involved in that sense. I'm not sitting here expecting him to come in and just, oh my God, he's going to light it up. Here we go. It's going down. Like, no, if we get 3 or 4 sacks from him down the stretch, to me, that's awesome. That's a W. That's a win. I'm not sitting here expecting this man to come out and, I'm not even expecting 30 tackles along the finish. Now, he could get into the road. He's been on the Saints practice squad. I think they called him up for 1 game this year. He had 2 tackles. I'm just not sitting here, and he had like 17, snaps in that. I'm just not sitting here overly expecting anything. I'm going in with low expectations. I look at this as a better rotational piece than what Melvin Ingram was last year. Now, everyone wants maybe us to bring Melvin Ingram back. I think Jason Pierre-Paul is a more talented pass rusher, and I think where he's at right now, I mean, he's almost 35. I mean, he's not a young buck, right? I think, I'm just not expecting much. I think this is a good rotational piece that can add to it. Now, if you also didn't see, he's said on Instagram that he's coming home because, I mean, obviously, Jason Pierre-Paul, I mean, if you remember, he went to USF. So, I mean, he is a Florida boy. He's coming home. He's looking to finish it off. He signed here because we're a contender. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm fine with it. I don't think it's a bad move. I don't think it's anything like that. But, let's temper our expectations of the Deerfield product. This isn't even what he was, 3 years ago in Tampa. He's just not that player anymore. He was producing at a high, when he was 32, he was producing at a high level, man. High level, 9.5 sacks. Then he saw a dip the next year big time. And, obviously with Baltimore, he wasn't overly impactful. But if we can get 1 or 2, 3 impact plays down the stretch and maybe an impact play in the playoffs, that's cool because he's no longer an impact player. He's a player who can sporadically make an impact. That's what I look at him now. Now, he might come out and blow the lid off everything, and I might be wrong. But that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm heading into this signing with. I'm not expecting for the world to change. I'm not expecting for us to reinvent the wheel, rushing the passer with Jason Pierre-Paul now. He's not Jalen Phillips right now. I'm sorry, he's just not. And as you all know, we missed out. Derek Barnett did sign with the Texans because that's who claimed him. All right. They were higher up on the claim order than we were. But it did come out, as we all expected. The Dolphins also put in a claim to acquire Derek Barnett. And just Houston had the higher waiver priority than Miami, who would have reunited Barnett with Fangio. That would have been the preferred addition to me. But, I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. JPP is a decent, consolation prize to missing out on Derek Barnett. Now, for all of you wondering about Shaq Leonard and Darius Leonard, what's happening there? Visited today with the Cowboys, I believe it was, and now he's going to be visiting with the Eagles. Or he visited with the Eagles and he's visiting with the Cowboys. Either way, he visited with one of those two today. He's visiting with the Cowboys and the Eagles, and then a decision is expected this weekend. I do not expect him to come to Miami. I haven't heard anything yet. So, to be fair, I haven't really asked. But I think that Shaq Leonard thing looks like he may be an Eagle or a Cowboy. So, we'll see how that works out. But, hey, the Dolphins, they put their best foot forward trying to make an effort to, try and fill some of the void that Jalen Phillips' injury leaves this team. Shout out to Omar Kelly. He'll be on the show next week for the next episode of the Cover 4 podcast. Be on the lookout for that. He tweeted out that he was rewatching the Dolphins and Jets game and suspected Terron Armstead entered the game with a quad injury because he wasn't his usual self. He said Armstead's usually very polished. He looks sloppy versus the Jets. Armstead, like the pro he is, re-quote tweeted Omar and said, "This is accurate. Man, I was definitely sloppy in this game. That's unacceptable. Got to get my shit together ASAP. I will put in the work and be better out there for my team this weekend." So is that confirmation right there in front of us that Terron Armstead is about to suit up this weekend for the Miami Dolphins? Now, McDaniel said he was going to be pushing him to play, and he expected that. Is that the confirmation we were looking for from the horse's mouth, that Terron Armstead will be playing this weekend against the Commanders? Interesting little tidbit there. And also, shout out to Terron Armstead for, when we did the film breakdown, we pointed out a couple game plays where he just didn't look his usual self. I talked about it, his recovery speed, he looks slow, so, and shout out to him for, taking that like a man, taking that like a true professional, like a true athlete, not, up here getting in his feelings, lying to himself and everyone else. Shout out to Terron Armstead. That's what real leaders do. Appreciate you. And, hey, I think it's going to be a real conversation. His body, it's starting to break down. That's clearly evident. Next year, either he retires this offseason or next year is his last season. I just don't see any other way around that. I really don't with where his body's at. Now, little tidbit from Barry Jackson. Regarding the decision to sit Achane last week, McDaniel said, with all things involved, all variables, knowing the Jets team we're going against, they're always physical, always fast. In the short week, it all factored in. You are taking a full work week and cutting it in half almost, McDaniel said. Short weeks, you're already putting your body through a blender. I felt good about Raheem and Jeff were bringing to the table. It didn't seem prudent to bring them back. Regarding the Washington game, McDaniel said Achane will want to play, and I'll be closely evaluating what he does. I want to be fair to him. Achane missed 4 games with a sprained knee, came off IR, played only 3 snaps in his first game back for injuring the same knee and missed the Jets game. McDaniel said Achane would not risk serious injury by playing. Everyone looking for a Chris Brooks update, here you go. Meanwhile, running back Chris Brooks, out since October 15th with an ankle injury, is quote-unquote pretty close to being able to practice. Once he practices, the Dolphins will have 21 days to activate him from injured reserve. Miami can bring back only 2 players on IR or the NFL's non-football injury list for the remainder of the season, with the requirement that those players have missed at least 4 games. Linebacker Jalen Phillips, who's headed to IR, is out for the season. Guard Isaiah Wynn might not be able to return off IR based on McDaniel's previous comments that he has a quote-unquote long journey ahead of him. And what have I been telling y'all? I told y'all weeks ago I was told he was out for the season with his rehabilitation. Eric Achane is on the non-football injury list, but Miami is deep at wide receiver. On the possibility of Brooks possibly coming off IR in the weeks ahead, McDaniel mentioned negotiating all the other hoops involved in that. Once a player is designated to return from injury, which happens the first day he practices, that player counts towards the 8 maximum players that a team can bring back off IR in one season. So there you go. He very non-committal to bringing back Chris Brooks, and it makes a ton of sense. It really makes a ton of sense. By the way, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. It really makes a ton of sense to be non-committal. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen over those next couple weeks. There could be a guy who gets banged up, and you want to save that slot for them. The elevation of Darrington Evans, I felt, brought further credence to it. I don't see them bringing back Chris Brooks from IR and using a spot. I just don't see them doing that. If you got Mostert, Wilson, Achane, and then Darrington Evans on the practice squad, you're pretty much good. And then let Chris Brooks get healthy, and then next season he's going to be replacing at least Jeff Wilson Jr. Now they might bring Raheem Mostert back into that second year of his contract. They can get out of it for nothing, but they'll probably bring him back due to his production this year. But I'm just saying, why waste a spot when you've got Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and Achane potentially ready to ride it out? So, yeah, I've said this weeks ago before. I'll say it again. I just don't know if I see that. I just don't. Well over 350 of you guys in the room. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. So that's your latest on Chris Brooks. All right. Now, I wanted to go over Tyreek. Tyreek, you opening your mouth again, kid. You opening your mouth again. If you hadn't had a chance to see what Tyreek Hill said today, check this out. I want you to see this.
Tyreek, do you think you can go all the way?
All the way to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Of course, man. We got the perfect team to do it. The way our head coach prepares us each and every week, man, it's next level. And he keeps each and every one of his guys in tune with the game plan and how we keep attention to detail each and every week. So it's a beautiful thing to see. Like the way we practice, like the way we play for one another is something that I've never seen before in a team. Like, I won a Super Bowl, and I feel like this is probably the better team than when we won a Super Bowl back when I was on KC. Obviously, man. So,
wow.
But all we got to do, though, is we got to come out, obviously. We got to practice. We got to prepare. And we got to make sure we show up on game day. You feel me? Like,
yeah, I know.
It can look good on paper, but we obviously got to get it done on Sundays.
What do you think can stop you as a team?
I say ourselves.
Yeah,
you feel me?
I agree.
These past few games, like, we've been turning the ball over, and We can't do that, and it starts with the leaders. It starts with myself. It starts with Tua. It starts with, Waddle. It starts with guys like that. The star players making plays, not turning the ball over, and just being able to convert third downs. If we're able to do that and, keep our defense off the field, we'll be all right.
75 days to go until the Super Bowl. It's on CBS. This team right here is going to be there for a segment on the pregame. We got the call up.
Okay.
Are you going to be there?
Yes, I will be there, and hopefully your routes will be better by then.
I got some time to practice. Don't worry.
All right, so listen, I don't mind Tyreek Hill talking about, listen, I love the confidence of winning the Super Bowl, but that is a bold, and yeah, I agree with you, Darth Sadik. He forgot to mention Raheem Mostert and his fumbles when he was talking about the leaders, but that's a bold statement to say this team was better than that Chiefs team he was on that won the Super Bowl. That was a damn good team. I love the motivation. I love the leadership by letting everyone in that building know how good he thinks this team is. I love that. But that is a bold statement, my friend. That is a bold statement. I'm here for it. I am here for every single minute of it. But Tyreek, that is a bold statement to say that this team is better than that team because we haven't even got to the playoffs yet. But listen, I'm just like Tyreek. I believe the sky is the limit for this team when it talks about potential this season. I really do. I love it. So I'm here for it, but brother, bold. And why you always got to come back to the Chiefs, Tyreek? Why we always got to compare Tua to Mahomes? Why we always got to be compared to the Chiefs? Come on, man. Oh. Now the Chiefs are using this for chalkboard material. They're already jotting this down in case they see us in the playoffs. But don't worry, we got something for the Chiefs if we see them in the playoffs. We ain't gonna see a repeat like what we saw in Germany. Tell you that much. All right, earlier we were talking a little bit about the defense and how good the defense, has been and what it'll be like. And, hey, I even mentioned earlier, I brought up the point about how I told everyone, wait till week 8, et cetera, et cetera. I want to show something to you guys here, okay? So, right now, if you look at, let's just look at general stats for this defense right now, okay? So if you look at this team right now is where we rank. 3rd in sacks, 3rd in quarterback hits, 5th in yards per rush, 6th rushing defense, 7th in total defense, 7th in yards per play, 9th and 3rd down defense, net yards per pass attempt, passing defense 11th. Look at this. Man, it feels so good to be vindicated by Vic Fangio when all these other people are making videos like, oh, Vic Fangio's a defensive guru, eh? Because people don't know ball and don't know how things work and don't understand the process. It's hilarious that the people that were panicking and making videos who just don't know ball and try to lie to all you guys and act like they do know ball and we're talking smack about them. Because there were multiple. There was not just one. There was multiple. And then flip on this. Remember I kept telling people, give them no week 8, give them no week 8. You'll see it. Look at this. Let's break it down. If you look at from weeks 1 to 4, Miami was 26th in total defense. From weeks 5 to 12, they're 1st in the NFL. If you look at yards per play, they were 27th through weeks 1 to 4. From weeks 5 to 12, 1st in the NFL. In offensive points allowed, they were 30th from weeks 1 to 4. Week 5 to 12, they were 1st. You know how bold I was with this, everyone? I made a 3 takes video after that Chargers game. Go look at it. If you're a Patreon, go look at it. And I think I even did a written version on the community tab. It was right after the Chargers game. And I stuck to my preseason prediction that I got out late. I was supposed to do them the week before, but I still put them out late. And one of them was that this defense would be top 10 in the NFL by the end of the season. I put that in a prediction in my Patreon, and I'm pretty sure I put it in written format on the community tab as well. And look at this right here. Rushing defense, 22nd over the first 4 weeks, allowing 123.5 per game. They are second since week 5 to 12, allowing 75.3 yards per game. Third down defense, they were 25th through the first 4 weeks. They allowed conversion of 46.2. They are second from weeks 5 to 12, allowing a 30% completion clip on converting third downs for opposing teams. First downs allowed, they allowed 23.3 over weeks 1 to 4. Look at where they are right now. Now they're second in the NFL in first downs allowed. Net yards per pass attempt, they were 28th in the NFL. Now they're third. Yards per rush, they were 19th in the NFL over the first 4 weeks. Now they're fourth in the NFL. Passing defense, they were 25th in the NFL over the first 4 weeks. Now they're seventh. I'm telling all y'all, a lot of these people in this fan base had no patience with the quarterback. They had no patience with the new defense and coordinator. And they're just exposing themselves as people who are casuals, who don't understand this game, who have never truly watched and analyzed this game, who don't truly know this game. And you see everything's coming together. And you've heard the players talk about it. They're getting comfortable with each other. They're getting comfortable in the system under Fangio. Because it's not like it was just the same personnel. David Long was added to the fray. Deshaun Elliott was added to the fray. Now Jalen Ramsey's been added to the fray. And that's week 5 through 12, so that's well before Ramsey came back too. So you can't even just say it's just been Ramsey. We knew this because I would talk about the run numbers every week and how good we were of a rush defense. Since that Chargers game, sorry. Listen, this is why I keep saying, if that offense consistently reaches that potential we know it's capable of, this team is unstoppable. They will run through the AFC in the Super Bowl. They will run through them. If they can find that consistency on offense, we know they're capable to match that level of defense right now. This team will be damn near unstoppable. I say that with the utmost confidence. Speaking of the offense, we haven't looked at it in a while, so let's take a look at it. Let's look at the composite offensive line scores for pass pro and run blocking, because there's something I want to talk about here. So in pass pro, right now, the Miami Dolphins 4th. When you take in their PFF grade, Sports Info Solution score, and the ESPN pass block win rate score, which is actually really low. Their pass block win rate score is actually very, very low. It's one of the worst in the NFL. If you actually go by the ESPN scores, it's actually one of the worst. It's bottom 10. But the PFF and Sports Info Solution scores raise it so high, right? We have the highest Sports Info Solution score, and we have a damn high PFF grade. Anyways, right now, you take a composite score on pass pro ratings, and the Miami Dolphins have the 4th best pass protection unit. And a lot of that is because of Tua and how quickly he's getting the ball out. Let's not lie to ourselves there. But also, here's the thing. This is where I really want to talk about. Run block ratings. Look at where we are on this, though. 24th. 37 grade by PFF. 33 grade by Sports Info Solutions. And a 73 run block win rate by ESPN, which is actually like high. Couple things to unpack here. One, shows even more impressive what Raheem Mostert's doing. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I think this plays into what I told all you guys about. Not enough people are talking about and making a big enough deal about how much it hurts to be missing Isaiah Wynn. Listen, Lester Cotton, Liam Eichenberg, Robert Jones, they cannot run block like Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn, next to Terron Armstead, Terron Armstead and Connor Williams were our best run blockers on this team, and it wasn't even close, and that was all on the left side of the line. I think this number is where it's at. Isaiah Wynn is a big miss. Isaiah Wynn hurts. If we had Isaiah Wynn right now, this would be a top 15 run block offense to match that pass pro. I think this is not, we talked about, and I've said it before, everyone talks about, we missed Achane. But Wynn's the piece that's really missing. This run game could be making a lot more noise, which is crazy to think about with how good they've been on the ground. This run offense could be making a whole hell of a lot more noise if Isaiah Wynn was in there. I truly believe that. Truly, truly believe that. There's not a question about it. So again, because of this injury, maybe he comes back next year on the cheap, trying to stay healthy and getting paid after he looks and sees how good of a season he really was having, right? So, food for thought right there. And, guys, we got to just take a look at the playoffs here. Look at this. The Miami Dolphins have a 99% chance to make the playoffs. And they have a 97% chance to win the division. Woo! 13% chance to win the Super Bowl. That's my lucky number. That's Dan Marino. I'm taking it. Those are the second best Super Bowl odds in the AFC. Ravens are at 10%. They're third behind us. And those are the look at the 49ers though, eh? Those are the fourth best odds in the NFL, second best odds in the AFC to win the Super Bowl the Dolphins currently possess. Love it. Love it. Look at this. Ooh, that feels good. 18% chance to host to get the bye week. 79% chance to host the wild card. 2% chance to be in the wild card. And a 1% chance to be out right now. Love it. Love it. Oh, baby, love it. Woo! It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan right now. 99%. Oh. McDaniel's going to win the division in his second year. Going to have a second year in a row of a playoff appearance, and there will still be people in this fan base who will argue for Brian Flores. When Brian Flores would have never okayed a lot of the acquisitions we made. All right? First of all, X wouldn't be on this roster anymore. I don't think he would have okayed the Jalen Ramsey move. Byron was his boy. And that blew up in his face. Wouldn't have okayed the Tyreek Hill move. Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson wouldn't have come here. They came here because of their tie with McDaniel. Wes Welker wouldn't be here with that wide receiver unit. Right? Would Terron Armstead have come here? Would Connor Williams be moved to center? And we wouldn't have Butch Berry and be getting the play out of the offensive line we're getting. Fangio's, we got a defensive guru anyways. I'm just saying. Guys, over 400 of you in the room, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. And I just wanted to say shout out to Aaron Rodgers. He talked about it how when he went up to Jalen Phillips when he was injured and told him it's going to be all right. Because, Jalen Phillips, they all basically knew it was probably the Achilles. Then he went through back channels because he knows some of the people on the Dolphins staff. And Rodgers got in touch with him. And, he's just said he's willing to give anyone advice to come back from this type of injury. So, shout out to Rodgers for being a leader amongst the NFL players with that. I mean, I know he's a Jet and everyone's going to have their opinion about Aaron Rodgers. But that's a big thing. And I, as a Dolphin fan, and Jalen Phillips is one of my favorite players in the NFL, I appreciate that as a fan, of football, of Jalen Phillips, of the Miami Dolphins. I appreciate that of Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I hope Jalen just gets the full repair. You don't need to rush it back, so I don't think he needs to go through any new type of. But hey, if that new surgery Rodgers went through, even with the rehab time of through the rest of the season, don't rush back for the playoffs. If that can make you stronger and quicker, cool. I just want the best surgery possible for Jalen Phillips to be back to the same athlete and same player he was before. whatever surgery and whatever rehab gets him to that point. That's what I want, no matter how long it takes. Jalen Phillips is a special, special player, a special, special human being, and he deserves to get back to that level of play. He was blowing up this season, man. So shout out to Jalen Phillips. Smash that like button for Jalen Phillips right now, and smash that like button for me. Help me out with my friend Al Algorithm. I'm going to be back tomorrow night around 7:45 with Richmond, a ball game. And then I'll be live at 5 o'clock on Thursday with Neil Driscoll. And then I'll be live on Friday at 5 o'clock to fully preview the Commanders game. And then we'll be live on Sunday for live reaction, followed by the fifth quarter post-game show. As the Dolphins, they have the chance to go 9-3, ladies and gentlemen. Let that roll off your tongue. We win our next 3 games. We get to 11 wins. The Bills need to win out the rest of the way to even sniff 11 wins, and that ain't happening. The AFC East runs through the Miami Dolphins. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Fins all the way up. And I will see all y'all tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. Enjoy Hard Knocks.